always say your investment is only as good as your buying price. If the watch is 250,000 Rand retail and you're paying 125, you already unlock 50% potential investment.
It's the most movable asset you can have.
I don't think there's any other instrument that can do that. Yeah. You had 2-3 million Rand a couple of years ago. You put it in watches. It's worth 6, 7, 8 million Rand now. Want to find out more? Stay tuned. Hey guys, Journe here, Topwatch.
Divan.
We're going to chat to you about the philosophy of watches, what's happening in the world right now, and how Topwatch fits into all of that.
I think we had a scary stage in the world at the moment with possible war coming up. So yeah, I mean, are your watches a safe investment still?
We pro-bullish watches, as you can imagine. But I do think a watch is really the perfect asset class. It's really one of the few investments out there that's instantly liquid, tradable anywhere in the world. They don't show mileage like cars. And you can have a 2 million Rand watch on your wrist, cross a border anywhere, to anywhere, no questions asked. It's something you can't do with gold and diamonds. Art's going to burn, your car needs a big container. I think a watch is a secure, safe investment in today's highly volatile world and economy.
Yeah, I think times have changed and people's philosophies have changed about what to do with their money. I had a conversation with one of my clients yesterday where he just said like he doesn't feel he's safe anywhere with his money. So what is he going to diversify that into? And he said he's made the decision to put it into watches. So I think a lot of people, that mindset shift has started. I mean, even if you look at crypto, I mean, it's the most volatile it's been in years. So I think people are really beginning to like have that mindset shift of we need to diversify investments. And like you said, I mean, it's the most movable asset.
Yeah.
You can have.
Yeah. Great story. One of our big clients, he moved to New Zealand. So I think he had 15 watches worth 25 million Rand. A lot of them he bought from Topwatch. And he phoned me and he said, listen, what do I do with this? So I explained to him there's no capital gain tax on a watch. So if you accumulated it over time on your move to New Zealand, declare it, put it on a list, go to the revenue service, say, listen, these are my watches, I'm leaving the country. And declare it. And he left, no questions asked, moved 25 million Rand with him. And for the specific reason, my advice to him to declare it and show it to them is if something happens and he wants to move back, he would literally just come back to South Africa, say, listen, these are my watches, exported day and date, yeah. I'm bringing them back in and voila. You know, I don't think there's any other instrument that can do that.
Yeah, I mean, even if you're moving on to like collectible cars and stuff, with importing, exporting, that sort of stuff. I mean, like cars have to be, 25, 30 years old before you can move it from one country to another. So yeah, I mean, with watches, you're never going to find that.
And I think how Topwatch fits into all of this is, obviously, we've been around for 15 years. I'm not 100% certain about the numbers, but it's to the effect of the following. There's like 30 or 35,000 kinds of cars out there. There's over 300,000 kinds of watches out there. So it's really a minefield of what to buy, what not to buy, what will keep its value. I mean, as you know, we would get a ladies AP vintage being offered to us. It's worth 1 million Rand. We probably won't buy 100 because there's really just no buyer. So out of the 10, 20 watches we see a day, every day, we probably buy 3, 4, 5 of them, 6 of them. And we really only buy the good stuff. Yeah. So for guys that get into watches and buy watches from us at Topwatch, they know they're really buying unique pieces. Yeah. They're buying the discount. I always say your investment is only as good as your buying price. So, you know, if the watch is 250,000 Rand retail and you're paying 125, you already unlock 50% potential investment as opposed to standard retail. And then just you grow into it out there, you know, something really unique.
I think that's the difficult part about what we do also is to educate clients on this. A lot of guys getting into like their first watch, for instance, will think, He's going into the Tag Heuer boutique, for instance. He's going to buy a watch. It's his first proper watch. But what he doesn't know is he didn't do the market research beforehand to see that the moment he walks out of that boutique, he's going to probably lose more than 50%.
Yeah.
And that's a tough conversation to have with a client that paid 140,000 Rand for his watch.
Yeah.
And we will sell that watch on for 60.
Yeah.
It's a tough conversation to have. So, and that's where we come in is we are the experts in the industry, and we need to educate our clients from the beginning and make them also make that mindset shift in what they're buying is actually going to be liquid.
Yeah. And I think what makes it nice is, the watch industry is it's a global trade. It's almost currency, especially if you look like brands like Rolex. Is if you find a double red in Japan, it's been part of a guy's watch collection that's got 50 watches, so that watch hasn't been worn at all. It's worth R1 million, as opposed to one similar age and year, but it's been beaten and worn. And, so finding those really investment grade watches all over the world, I think is what makes it fun.
100%. I mean, you're going on a collecting journey at the end of the day, but also you want your money to be safe. So I mean, that's just where we come in, I feel like, and being able to educate our clients and knowing what they're buying is the correct instrument to put their money into.
Yeah.
Welcome to What's in the Safe today. I'm Mika Terblanche, watch trader at Topwatch for the past 5 years, and I'm here with
Divan Stander. I've been with Topwatch for just over 2 years. We're going to run you through what some of our new arrivals are today. Let's start this off with the Breitling Avenger Seawolf. I think this is probably one of the coolest dials I've seen in quite some time. Very nice entry into the luxury watch collection. For me, I think just at the price point, you can't really do much better.
Yeah, definitely. And the yellow dials, they call it a school bus yellow. So I've only seen in the past 5 years, I've only seen 2 of these come along. It's a very popular configuration, especially that yellow just pops on your wrist, especially against the black dial.
I mean,
black strap.
Getting something like this at under 50,000 Rand is incredible value.
Definitely.
Let's see. Top Gun, the famous one. Everyone always wants the Top Gun.
But that black DLC is
yeah, it's a tough one. I mean, if you scratch this, you're gonna have to put it away.
Definitely.
But still, I mean,
the scratches are for life.
If you look after your stuff, I mean, it's probably one of the coolest watches you can find.
Yeah. On the flip side as well, I mean, it's a watch that can eventually show character after 6 years.
100%.
Some people enjoy a scratch or two
100%.
on their stuff. Let's talk about this. This is the 150th anniversary IWC Big Pilot. So it's one of the most beautiful blue dials that I've ever seen. Look at that blue lacquer.
It really pops, and this watch in the sun, it really just reflects light so well. I think it really is. It's an understated piece, but it's like one of those, like, if you know, you know.
Yeah.
I think this is what makes this really special.
And I think it's a white gold as well, if I'm not mistaken.
It looks like white gold, but it's actually stainless.
It's got a nice weight to it.
It's got a lot of weight to it, but it is actually in stainless, which is quite nice. This is my sort of area of watches that I love, is more your vintage pieces.
The double red.
So we're getting to the double red a bit later. I think we should keep that for last. But this is a 5513. So this is what they call a spider dial. Do you know the story behind that?
Yeah. So basically, I think it was 80s where Rolex had a manufacturing error on their black lacquer dials, and eventually, they recalled all the watches, or you could send your watch in and have the dial replaced. But some people actually kept it. And now, 20 years later, it has almost like a spider web on the dial. And what makes it even more special, it's almost like a party trick. Because when you're wearing the watch normally and going through your day, it's not going to show. But when the light catches it at the right angle, then that whole spider web bursts on the dial.
And that's what makes it so collectible today, because most of these dials were actually, when they were taken in for service, they were replaced. So, I mean, the guys that still kept them as is. I mean,
that was actually pristine spider dials trade for like double what a normal 5513.
100%. I mean, your replacement dial 5513s you can pick up pretty cheap. But something like that in that original condition is really special.
let's talk about this one. So this is the Roger Dubuis. I think I'm saying it correctly, but it's the Excalibur. It's beautiful red, and it's got a nice Italian flavor strap to it. The red, green, and white. Very light. It's almost like a Richard Mille, in my opinion.
Yeah.
They experiment a lot. They have some of the best client service available at retail.
We had a conversation about this the other day. So if you buy this watch at retail is crazy. It's something like 1.6, 1.7 million. But apparently Roger Dubuis fly you out because they're involved with Formula One and that sort of stuff. So they fly you out to an event fully paid.
So that
everything. Makes your retail
they spoil
experience,
their clients quite a lot.
That makes your retail experience amazing. But on the other hand of that, we're selling this watch at a quarter of retail.
So they drop quite a lot on the pre-owned market, but what you're getting is almost Richard Mille level craftsmanship. I mean, they experiment also with all the titanium movements, titanium cases. I mean, they really put themselves out there.
Carbon cases also. So no, I mean, it's an incredible watch.
So something that I want to share with you guys is the aspirational journey that we've seen a typical buyer goes through. So maybe a little confidential, but for the sake of the show. So Topwatch has anything between 1 million and 1.5 million eyeballs on the brand on a monthly basis. So that's through all our channels: LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, email, etc. That brings us to around 400,000-500,000 interactions. So like, click, share, comment, ask a question. That brings them to around 30,000 website visitors every single month. But we only transact about 200 watches in terms of buy and sell. So it's like, people looking at Ferraris. Millions of people all over the world look at Ferraris. But to really, get your checkbook and engage and buy a 50 or 100 grand watch, there's a couple of hundred people out there. So what we've seen is people normally tend in their journey to access something in the 10 to 25,000 rand range. That's obviously post there's fashion watches. So we don't touch them, we don't deal with them. I think it's more like jewelry for men than the mechanical side of watches that we deal in. And then we see they progress. So sometimes it's a quartz Tissot, love it. Then they want to go mechanical. Then they want to go chrono. Then they start noticing brands. Then they go tag, Panerai. And
we see that quite often. I mean, a guy that bought a watch from me a year ago, ready to take the new step. He bought a tag. He's going up to Omega. He's going up to Breitling, Panerai. I mean, it's fun to be part of that journey in the other sense. Seeing guys obviously doing well and building that collection. I think it's quite special to actually be part of that, and that's why we build such good relationships with our clients. I think it's definitely guys. I think it's a lot of time it's a status sort of thing of wearing a nice watch. I mean, everyone wants to wear a nice watch, but moving into the mechanical aspects of it and actually getting into proper horology is what actually grabs the attention of most guys.
I heard a story. I don't know how true it is, but a Lange takes the top. So where typical, let's say, tag wear, they're on Formula One, they out there, you see them everywhere. It's and that's their marketing strategy. Lange & Son takes the top 100 horology influencers and writers and bloggers, in the world every year. They take them away for a weekend or a week, and then they sit with them and they go in detail with regards to the watch. So why does it take 2 hours to hand engrave, the bridge, and why is it a couple of 100 hours per watch, and what's in this movement and that movement? And those guys go away and they are forever a Lange fans because they went into the depth of what makes this watch special, as opposed to just top level or top of mind branding.
I think we see that with a lot of the big brands and like all big. When I'm saying big brands, I'm referring to like your FP Journe, Lange & Söhne. Like you're more. I mean, just for you to be able to buy or see that watch it's incredible. Having a Lange in your hand is you're touching something special. FP Journe, like they've gone absolutely mad in the last 2 years. Prices have absolutely skyrocketed, and whenever like some of our big collector clients when one becomes available, they're basically fighting for it.
There's a queue for them. If you like what you're seeing, stay tuned. Visit our website, topwatch.com. See you on the next one.